Hi folks, it's that time of year again for Christmas gift guides. This is the first of two videos, and this one is going to be all about bookish gifts that aren't actually books. The books will be next week. So, without further ado, the first seller is Alchemy Ink, which is a little shop which is run by Natalie, who I know through Instagram, and I've worked with her in the past on one of her book subscription boxes. She used one of my designs, Dorian Gray one, for her Gloriously Gothic box, which is a quarterly box, which is a new thing, and I think a subscription to one of Natalie's boxes would be an amazing gift. She also does little boxes, mini boxes, which are monthly, and I'm so excited to receive mine. I think that's being shipped out later this month, so that's very exciting. And her main thing is candles. She does these beautifully designed candles, and they're all based on book characters or bookish themes. Lots of classics. There's some Harry Potter, there are some other contemporary young adult books and contemporary adult books, so very, very cool. The only thing about the candles is that they don't get restocked very often, so you need to watch her on Instagram, follow her and see when her next restock is, because they sell out so fast. Next up, we've got another seller who I know through Instagram, and this is Dust and Pages. This is a pin that I bought from them, and this is the Darkling pin from the Grisha trilogy by Leah Bardugo, and their stuff is just such good quality, beautifully made pins. This is a hard enamel one, and I mean, just look at how gorgeous it is. So lovely. They also have recently started a bookish box. I think they're doing them as one-offs, but yeah, that would be a good idea to keep an eye on as well. While we're on the subject of bookish subscription boxes, I just want to mention a couple that I have received boxes of. I've bought them and really liked them. The first being Owl Crate, and this is a young adult based box, so would make a great gift for somebody who's really into their YA, and this is, yeah, appropriate for adults and young adults. And the sorts of things they have in these boxes are some wearable items. They always have a book. Last month they had 2 books, which was really exciting. And yeah, things like badges and pins, and yeah, just all sorts of things. I'll actually just show you a couple. Oh, so last month there was a pair of socks from Out of Print Clothing. They do amazing bookish clothes, and their socks are fantastic. I mean, I know that sounds like a very nerdy thing to say, but I love their socks. And this is another thing that they had in last month. It's a book bag, and I will put the seller of these, the maker of these, down in the comments as well. And then the other box that I would recommend is for writers, actually. So not just for readers, although there is always a book in this box as well. This is called the Scribbler box, and it's got Write on the top. So like I said, this always comes with a book, and then there are a series of other things which are to do with the book, and one of them being one of these little passports. So this is a collection of information and tips on writing, and in this case there is a little essay in here from Courtney Summers, who wrote Sadie, which was the book in this box. And yeah, so she talks a bit about her process, which is super interesting. And also there's another little pamphlet-y thing which gives you some more background information on the book and tells you a bit about what's inside. This box also had some tea in it, which is a golden turmeric and ginger tea, so that's kind of cool. And not in this box, but in this most recent box, there was a notebook and also this pin, along with other things. This is Neil Gaiman's face on a pin, and it says King Gaiman, which is pretty cool. Again, a beautifully designed and produced pin. Got to take a little break to say that I have got some new Bookish products as well. These are now up on my site. It's the Inktober bookmarks, and I'm so pleased with how these have printed up. I was a little bit worried about how they would show up, especially the gold, but it's come out pretty well. They're not metallic, but they have come out quite well. So they tend to come in pairs or individually, depending on whether there are two of them or not. So in this case, there's the Rebecca one. Last night I dreamt I went to Manderley again, and that just comes as an individual bookmark. So there's a whole big range of them there. If you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen some of these bookmarks as I was working on them. And then there are also my novel notebooks, which have just been restocked, and so now things like the Beauty and the Beast notebook, the Little Mermaid, Pride and Prejudice, and Snow White are all back in my shop and available. There are many more as well that are up there. Oh, and there's the Alice in Wonderland one, and the Harry Potter inspired ones, the magical textbooks, which are also new. There are a series of those, and all of these have decorated end papers in various different styles. So these will all be linked down below. You can go and have a browse through my website. This is one of my favourite ones. The Truth in the Tea Leaves, again, has decorated end papers or inside pages. And I'm also going to do a little giveaway. So if you would like to win one of the Alice in Wonderland notebooks, let me know down in the comments once you finish the video what which of these items was your favourite and which one you would most like to get in your Christmas stocking, and I will choose a winner and send out an Alice in Wonderland notebook, and it's open internationally. Next up are these gorgeous candles from Gundine Candle Co, and these are all book related again, and some books that I haven't seen represented in candles or in many different products before. One being The Secret History. This is Julian's Office, which is beautiful and also smells really nice. Likewise with Circe from Madeline Miller's book that came out earlier this year. I mean, Circe is a figure from Greek mythology, but I think it's probably Madeline Miller's book that inspired that candle. And also Moony, everyone's favourite werewolf from Harry Potter. Then there is a fellow New Zealander called Jess Type, who does prints, gold foil prints based on various different books. A lot of young adult literature, I think some classics as well. I really like her stuff, so worth having a look at. We've also got Janique Illustration, whose stuff I've been following on Instagram for a while, and I recently bought a few of her things. They're all based on folktale and fairy tales, and they're just gorgeous. I love her style. It's quite unique. The textures that she uses in her illustrations are beautiful as well. We've got this little print that she put in with the order, as well as a couple of little stickers. Super cute. So yeah, if you know anyone who likes fairy tales and folklore, then those are definitely worth checking out. Then we have got these lovelies, which are beautiful embroidered illustrations from Chloe Giordano, and her Instagram is beautiful. She shows some of her, she sews and shows some of her process, which is beautiful as well and super interesting. And I haven't seen anything else quite like this, you know, illustrations made from embroidery like this. And yeah, I adore how cute her animals are, and yeah, they just give you the warm fuzzies because they're gorgeous. Then we have a fellow YouTuber and a fellow Holly. This is Holly Exley, and she does these gorgeous prints. She's a watercolor artist. This one here is from her Women Who Own It collection. There's a little bit of information on the back about the print. This one is based on Beatrix Potter, and these are all objects and things that were pertinent to her life and creative process. And it's not just a straight portrait or something, it's sort of a portrait through objects, which I find really interesting. She's done another one as well for Tove Jansson, the creator of the Moomins, which I've got my eye on too. I don't think she has it in A4 yet, but I'm hoping she'll bring it out in the same size so I can have them as a matching set. I've also got this one of hers as well, which is from her museum series. She did a couple of these. They're all objects that she painted at her local museum, and she painted them in the same colour palette so that they would all match nicely. And I just love the blues and the way that she's composed that image. We have got two things from the Creative Pep Talk podcast shop. If you haven't heard of the Creative Pep Talk podcast, it's amazing. It's run by Andy J. Miller, also known as Andy J. Pizza or Dr. Pizza, and he does this super inspiring podcast for creatives. It is inspiring, and it is sort of a pep talk type thing. You always go out of it feeling more motivated than you did going in, but it's really, really practical, which is unusual in the sort of pep talk arena, I suppose. And very practical advice, things that you can actually do to improve your art and making a living at your art. That's kind of the main thing. He also has a shop, so there is the Creative Pep Talk pencil sword pin, which is super cool. It's like a symbol of the Creative Pep Talk philosophy. And there's also this one here, which is the Creative Career Path. There's the pencil sword again on the front, and this is a really, again, practical workbook to go through to figure out where you sort of fit within the world of creativity and how you can make money from it. So it's looking at the intersection of art and business, and I love that, and how invested he is in the art side of it, but also knows the practical ins and outs of running a business. So, I mean, this is glorious because it's full of illustrations that he's done as well. He's an illustrator, and all of this is screen printed too, which is super cool. Any sort of creative in your life who wants to make either just some money on the side from their art, or if they want to make a full-time living from it, then this is such a great resource and would be the most amazing Christmas present. You're giving them the gift of art and business, which is incredible. So yeah, super cool. Definitely recommend that. That's everything I have got on my list for this year. Some just amazing creators out there, and I hope you go and give them some love. If you want to enter my giveaway, which I mentioned earlier, leave a comment down below telling me which of these is your favourite, or which of these things you would most like to see in your Christmas stocking this year. As always, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. The next one being the book version. There's a huge stack of books over there, and I'm going to film that now. So I'll see you later.